I knew you were coming on.
Yeah.
I don't just read who replies.
Yeah.
I go and look at what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's a great way to learn. If you want to learn about someone, learn who hates him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the best ways. And most of what I've seen is knee-jerk mob thinking with very little basis in reality.
It's people who know what I stand for. And because I don't stand for what they stand for,
you must stand against it.
I must be evil, because they know they're right. They know if they were born a different time, they would be Gandhi, they would be Mandela, they would be Dr. King. They know that for sure.
Oh, 100%.
And if they were alive now, they would be stood next to those people, because they're virtuous. Only they know what's right and wrong and what's good and evil.
I'm no expert, but I imagine Dr. Martin Luther King, if he were in Manchester, would look at the mural of a criminal man and say, it is terrible that he died the way he did. Why have you got a mural of him?
Yeah.
Why do we do that? Why would we do that? Are there no more virtuous black people who have suffered terribly and died unnecessarily than George Floyd?
Yep.
Pumped full of fentanyl and everything else.
A foreigner.
Yeah, and why is it here?
What has that got to do with Manchester?
Surely we can do better.
Yeah.
Because I think it's an insult to the black community as well, as far as I'm concerned. This is your hero, this is.
Yeah.
A man that robbed a pregnant woman.
Yeah, stuck a loaded gun in her pregnant belly while him and his friends robbed her.
Lovely mural.
Absolutely.
See, that's my problem with it. But the minute you mention that, he erases it wouldn't matter to me what colour he was.
Yep.
Wouldn't matter to me in the slightest, because anyone that does that shouldn't get a mural. You know, we wouldn't have a Jimmy Savile mural.
Absolutely.
Gary Glenn, now he did a lot for charity. Why can't we have a mural for him?
Yeah.
Oh, because of the other stuff that he did. Goes without saying, but apparently this is okay. But see, I can say that and people expect it. If you come out and say, I'm not keen on this mural, racist.
I've already said it. If I'm elected mayor, I'll do my best to get that painted over.
Let's get something
because
better, Paul.
It's an insult. It's an insult to the people of Manchester that the best we can do is a career foreign criminal on our wall. I don't think so.
Who was only famous for dying.
Yes. I think he'd been in jail 9 times.
He was a busy boy.
Yeah.
Lots of cocaine charges.
Yes.
Again, that house invasion. The trial starts today as we record this. Actually, the trial of the police officer is going on, and we'll see what happens there. I think politically they've got to send him down. I don't think either it's that or it's going to go off.
I've got a funny feeling he's going to be found innocent, and there's going to be riots like.
Oh yeah, but the problem is we'll have him here.
Yep.
We'll riot here.
Yep.
We didn't do it. Our police didn't do it.
Yep.
I get accused of this all the time. I don't know if the guy came to fit my Virgin Telly. It was a black fellow. We had a great chat about all this because he's always nice. He was really astute, and we spoke about politics, history, even about reparations. He made a very convincing argument for.
Yep.
Very convincing. It was refreshing to hear. Not just give me, you racist. He made it really interesting. It was very good. But we spoke about the fact that we're going to have a riot over here for nothing.
Yep. It started already, hasn't it?
For something a policeman did abroad that we have no control over. But people say to me, it's all right for you. Your ancestors had slaves. My ancestors were like coal miners in Nottinghamshire. They were slaves. They were basically slaves. They died young and horribly after being worked to death. My family didn't have slaves. David Cameron's family, they had plenty of slaves. No, they're slave owners. But, they put it onto all of us.
Well, let's take a couple of 100 years before that. So before we had the transatlantic slave trade, we had the Berber slave trade in North Africa. And North Africans took, some estimates reckon about 1.5 million white Christian Europeans, captured them in piracy and sold them into slavery.
Oh, we don't talk about that. Well,
we don't,
Manchester, there's a statue of Abraham Lincoln here.
Yep.
I've spoken about this on the show before. They don't know the stand our workers took against slavery in America.
Stopped importing the cotton because I wanted to support
at great local cost.
Yeah, and it drove many people into real abject poverty.
And put us at odds with Liverpool as well.
Yeah, but they knew. And the reason why they did that was because 100 years before that, British people were being kidnapped and sold into slavery. And every time we had that, that'd be national news. Fishermen were scared of going out fishing because when they were out fishing, their villages would be raided by North African pirates, and everybody would be taken into slavery. Yeah. So slavery has happened to every person in every country of every race in every time of human history until the British Royal Navy stopped it.
Yeah, didn't the American Navy go to war with some Arab states as well over slavery?
They joined us eventually with the fight against slavery.
Eventually, but I think the problem is it's not about who ended it for me, because that all ends up being deals and backroom deals, because of course they had to compensate a lot of the slave owners, because how else would you get them to stop? But I think if we focus more on this is what the common man did, why don't we stop looking at what the people who are, they're not like us. They are no more representative of white people than George Floyd is of black people. What has a common man done? And we can look to things like the heritage here in Manchester. You know, the fact that neither you nor me or anyone on our social level was responsible for Windrush, you know, nor would we be. I think that's we're so blinded by the class system now that we all get dragged into things that have got nothing to do with us. Let's focus on what brings us together more than what pushes us apart.